Here's the weird thing about AI right now. The price of using AI is falling, but for a lot of businesses, the job itself is getting more expensive. Sounds backwards, but it makes sense once you stop thinking of AI as one magic brain and start thinking of it as a very odd office. Picture Monday morning, you've hired one expensive genius, one fast junior assistant, and one very strict compliance manager. If you ask the genius to make every cup of tea, draft every email, and summarize every meeting, your bill explodes and the work gets weirdly overcooked. Bit like sending the CEO out to buy printer paper. That, in plain English, is where AI is heading. The big idea from this podcast is simple. As AI gets cheaper to run, the value moves to two other things. First, governance. That just means the rules, checks, and release controls around powerful AI. Second, routing, sometimes called the harness layer. That means deciding which model does which job. So the future of AI is not just who built the smartest model, it's also who controls it safely and who assigns it properly. For a while, the AI race looks simple. Build a more capable model and win. But now the strongest models can create a real jump in capability. So releasing them is starting to look less like launching a new app and more like opening access to a powerful tool that needs supervision. That is where governance comes in. Not a moral lecture, more like a control room. Then there's the second shift. Newer AI systems are becoming more agentic. Agentic just means they can take more steps on their own. They can reason for longer, call tools, and try multiple approaches. Useful? Absolutely. But here's the trap. Cheaper per token does not always mean cheaper per task. A token is just a little chunk of text. If a model takes 4 times as many steps to do a simple job, your cheaper model can still turn into an expensive one. It can be like that one colleague who turns a 2-line answer into a 14-slide deck. The easiest way to picture this is a restaurant kitchen. You do not give every order to the head chef. The head chef handles the complex dishes, the high-stakes moments, and the quality checks. The line cooks handle routine plates. The floor manager directs the flow. And health and safety makes sure nobody does something reckless. The real value is not just having talent in the kitchen, it's knowing who should do what, when, and under which rules. Let's make this useful. Say you run a small business, a charity team, or you're self-employed and trying to get through the week without cloning yourself. On Monday, you need 3 things. First, a summary of meeting notes. Second, a first draft of a client or donor email. Third, a rough strategy. Here's the smarter setup. Use a cheap, fast model for the meeting summary. Use a mid-range model for the first email draft. Use a stronger model for strategy, because strategy needs more structure, trade-offs, and judgment. Then, and this bit matters, a human checks the final output. That human also updates the context, because AI with stale context is like asking an advisor who has not spoken to you in 2 years. Still very confident, not necessarily very helpful. This is also why measuring success by token usage is a terrible idea. More tokens do not automatically mean more value. That's like praising a builder for using more bricks when all you needed was a small wall. So the smart play is not use the smartest AI for everything. The smart play is match the model to the task. Keep a human in the loop and avoid locking yourself into one tool if you can help it. Here's the takeaway. AI is becoming less like buying one brilliant employee and more like managing a mixed team. The winners will not just have the smartest model, they'll have the best system for choosing the right model for the job. Because the company that quietly decides which intelligence goes where, without the user needing to care, could end up being the real giant of this era. And underneath all of this is one more very unglamorous truth. AI still depends on hardware. So the future of AI is not floating magically in the clouds. It still depends on very expensive hardware in very real buildings. Slightly less sci-fi, quite a lot more spreadsheet. So here's your move this week. Pick one recurring task and redesign it using this rule. Strong model for strategy, cheaper for routine. Run that for 7 days and watch what happens. And if you want more no-nonsense AI talk, follow the Qwod pod. Because AI is usually not a miracle. It's usually not a menace. It's a management problem wearing a sci-fi hat.